I'm Sarah, a tutor here at Accountancy Learning, and in this video I'll take you through the AAT Level 3 Business Awareness Sample Paper 2 Task 3. So this task is about technology and cyber risk and data security. The Internal Audit Department of Medal Media Limited is reviewing the organisation's systems and records for compliance with the Data Protection Act. Identify which one of the following controls of Medal Media Limited will contribute to data protection compliance. Our options are having an in-house IT department, daily system backup scheduled, external certification of the system's compliance, or password controls in the system. So because we're talking about data protection, we're going to be looking at something that is actually going to help protect that data. So it's not necessarily about the integrity, it's what is actually protecting that data that you've got. And that's going to be password controls in the system. So by having password controls, it means only those that are authorised to see that data will actually do so. Snush & Co are a partnership who produce organic, environmentally friendly soap and other bath and body products. The products are all manufactured in their factory from organically sourced raw materials and are available for purchase in their high street stores or online shop. Snush & Co have recently decided to encourage customers to set up an account and enter their personal details for Snush & Co to hold. An account can be set up either in store or online. Customers will earn points on purchases which can be exchanged for gifts, and they will receive offers and discounts by email. We now need to complete the following statement. Snush & Co must consider the information that they will collect about their customers for the account setup. When doing this, they should be following the principle of, and we've got data minimisation, storage limitation, or accountability. So in terms of setting up an account then, they are looking to get their personal details. The customers are going to earn points and they will also receive offers and discounts by email. So they're looking for marketing details to help retain customers and increase revenue. But what they need to do is make sure that they are following the principle of data minimisation. So only using the data that they actually need. Identify whether the following statements are true or false. The customers are responsible for setting up their own account, so Snush & Co have no responsibility for checking accuracy or data held. So we're talking about the customers put in their own details. So this is saying that they're responsible for setting up their own account. So Snush & Co have no responsibility for checking accuracy or data held. So this is false. So they should be checking that the data they hold on their customers is accurate and relevant. Snush & Co plan to use the data for a new purpose that's not legally required. Prior to doing this, they will only need to update the information policy on their website. So this is false because they have a new purpose that they want to use the data for that hasn't yet been disclosed to their customers. And because it's not legally required, it means that they will have to notify their customers via letter, email, that this is what's going to be used. They cannot just update the policy on their website. Identify which one of the following is an integrity control Snush & Co could implement. So we've got have system checks to ensure customers enter data into all account setup fields. Have an automatic email verification sent when the account has been set up, have an automatic account password generation in the system, and ensure all computers have up-to-date firewall software. So we're looking at what's going to help us with the integrity of the data that they are collecting. So the first one, ensuring customers enter data into all account setup fields. I mean, we do need full data, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the integrity of that data is upheld. Have an automatic email verification sent when the account has been set up. So this will test the integrity, because if they are using dummy emails, then it means that the email verification will not be received, and therefore the account will not be confirmed. The other two, we've already picked our one answer, but the other two, have an automatic account password generation in the system. So password generation isn't really going to be anything to do with the integrity of the data that they're collecting. That is more to do with making sure that customers have a strong password. Ensure all computers have up-to-date firewall software. So again, the software itself is not going to have an impact on the integrity of the data that the customers provide. Part C, identify the correct type of cyber attack for each statement. An email requesting bank details to enable the deposit of an unexpected amount from overseas is an example of this potential cyber attack. So this is an email requesting bank details to enable the deposit of an unexpected amount. So this is what's known as phishing. So they send out an email looking for you to enter your details. So they're phishing for your details in the hope that they will be provided with them, and then they can carry out fraudulent activities. The second one, this type of cyber attack involves criminals recording what a user types into their keyboard. So this is where there's some sort of software on the computer that's been put on the computer, so some sort of virus, they've hacked in, been able to put it on. And what it does is it identifies what you're typing into your keyboard, so therefore passwords, pins, anything like that. And that's known as key login. Part D, identify which one of the following is a benefit of cloud accounting. So we've got reduction in software costs, enables real-time information sharing with stakeholders, a backup routine can be easily scheduled, or it can reduce the cost of staff training. So cloud accounting is what we're looking at, and we want one benefit. So cloud accounting is a live system, and it can be accessed from anywhere, basically anywhere that's got internet access. So looking at that, then we can see that it's going to enable real-time information sharing with stakeholders. Not necessarily going to be a reduction in software costs, because it is still a form of software. A backup routine can be easily scheduled, so it's already in the cloud, so it's already being backed up, and it can reduce the cost of staff training. They're still going to need to know how to use that cloud accounting software, so the staff training is still going to be required. Part E, identify the appropriate technology that each statement refers to. This technology can add value to the finance function because of the transparency of the transaction record. So for each one, we need to choose from the answers that we've got at the bottom here. So it can add value to the finance function because of the transparency of the transaction record. So this is blockchain. So blockchain creates an unchangeable record of transactions. So this makes financial records more accurate and transparent, and therefore accountants can track each transaction with confidence and reduces the risk of error or fraud. This technology will seek patterns and trend in complex, varied data. So this is where we're looking at data and we're analysing it. So it's data analytics. taking all the data, doing some analysis on it, and therefore coming out with patterns and trends. This is the use of machines in decision making. So machines here is going to be referring to artificial intelligence. And the final one, this will improve security and compliance for completing VAT returns. So this is going to be electronic filing, so being able to file things digitally. Maya has been running a water sports activity centre for the last year. She now has 2 managers and 14 operational staff who are focused on delivering a friendly service and maintaining a clean and organised centre. Complete the following statement. This demonstrates Maya benefits from, and then we've got cooperative relationships with the local businesses, goal congruence or defined responsibilities for staff members. So what we're told in the question here is that she has staff who are focused on delivering a friendly service and maintaining a clean and organised centre. So it doesn't tell us anything about local businesses, doesn't actually tell us anything about their responsibilities, but what it does tell us is that they all have the same goal. So it's goal congruence. Part G. Identify whether the suggested funding method for each scenario would be appropriate. And then we need to select yes or no in this box. B Limited is planning to invest in a new warehouse. This will support the expansion of the business. It's suggested that working capital could be used. So is this going to be appropriate? So it's about a new warehouse to support the expansion of the business. So this is going to be a fairly large cost. So working capital is going to be sort of our it's our day-to-day operations. It's how do we cover our liabilities. So this is kind of our kind of daily cash. This is what we work with in your day-to-day operations. So that is not going to be appropriate for a large cost such as a new warehouse. It wouldn't be able to be funded through working capital. Due to a change in regulation, A Limited expects the budget sales in January to be delayed until February. The shortfall in cash for this period will need to be funded. So A Limited are not getting the amount that they thought they were going to be getting in January, so they're not getting the cash in, but that cash shortfall needs to be covered. The funding method suggested is a new share issue. So is this going to be appropriate? Well, no, it's not, because a share issue is going to be, or can be, a lengthy process. So it's not going to help in the short term. It could also come with legal costs, and ultimately will dilute the ownership of the company, which some shareholders may not be happy with. So more suitable would be things like a bank loan or even an overdraft, just to see them over that 1 month shortfall. Leafy Lanes is a small bookkeeping and accounting business run by 2 partners, Cristiano and Lionel. The service they provide will depend on the customer's business. Some of the services they supply will be to meet legal and regulatory requirements of the business, and other services will be to provide useful information to support decision making. Now we need to identify which one of the following statements is true. So we've got, it is easy to understand the features of the service the customer considers most important. It is difficult to establish a standard cost for the customer to be able to set an appropriate fee. The staff costs of the business account for a small proportion of the total costs, and it's difficult to negotiate a fair price of raw materials. So if we look at what we've got in our question then, so it's a small bookkeeping and accounting business. The service they provide depends on the customer's business, so it depends on what type of business that customer has. Some of the services are going to be to meet legal and regulatory requirements, and other services is to provide useful information to support decision making. So we haven't got anything about raw materials. We don't know anything about the staff costs. So we're left with the top two. It's easy to understand the features of the service the customers consider the most important, or it's difficult to establish a standard cost for the customer to be able to set an appropriate fee. So it's going to be about setting an appropriate fee, because different services based on the type of business means that a standard cost cannot easily be reached. So it's more of a bespoke service depending on what that customer actually needs. Now, our final part of task 3 is to identify which one of the following is not a feature of business organisations. Individuals working together and sharing profits, individuals working together as a team, or individuals working together towards a common goal. So in terms of business organisations, yes, they do need to work towards a common goal. Yes, they do need to work together as a team. So therefore, the one that is not a feature is going to be individuals working together and sharing profits, because yes, they're going to work together, but they're not necessarily sharing the profits. And with that, we are at the end of task 3.